Hi everybody, Tara here, Live Pro Talk. So we are here today for our summer edition. I don't know if any of you are in the GTA, but it is hot as Hades outside. So we're gonna do a little bit of a, conversation just about what to do during the summer. That might differ from the colder seasons. If you're in an area where it's hot all the time, then hey, this could work for you as an ongoing basis. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the hot weather. So what happens in the hot weather that's different than, say, the winter or the fall? Well, number one, your system can definitely come off faster. So everybody, usually they'll have their set time frame on how long their system's going to last them. And some of the things that do happen is, say, for example, you're a 3-weeker, 4-weeker, maybe even, you could definitely lose a week just because of the hot weather. That's definitely going to affect how long your adhesive is going to last on your head. However, there are things I always like to remind clients of is if you are wearing a hair system and you feel it's getting a little warm, maybe it feels like kind of like moving around a little bit, rather than going in, start picking at it and doing things that are, going to make it lift faster. I always say cool down first. See how that works. Go inside where there's AC, get in your car where there's AC. If all of a sudden you cool down a little bit, that adhesive could actually re-solidify itself and kind of be a little bit better, in the long run, rather than you going in like a Band-Aid. Anytime you start picking at your piece, it's going to start to lift, and then you're pretty much doomed after that. So make sure you cool down before you start playing with that system. That's definitely going to help it last a little bit longer, especially in this lovely heat we're having right now. Make sure you also have consistent adhesives or something to touch up your hair system. It's always good to have something as a fail-safe just in case that hair system does lift. Now, we don't want to keep adding glues and tapes. Eventually, you're going to have to clean it off. However, in the event, sometimes what you can do, a little quick trick, is that say you got a little hot and you feel it's not sticking anymore, you can actually lift your system, give it a little spray of isopropyl, let that dry. A lot of the times that will re-adhere. The actual adhesive will actually get tacky again. You can put it back down. So you can try that first, see if that works. If not, then you can definitely try one of our adhesives. Any of these ones. So we have our Ultra Hold, we have our Mighty Type. So these are really great because they do have these little brushes inside. I do prefer the Mighty Type a little bit more, especially for newbies if you haven't used a glue before, just because it has a higher alcohol content. So because of the higher alcohol content, it's actually going to spread a little bit easier versus the Ultra Hold is a little bit gooey, stringier, a little bit harder to use. So if you're not too sure on how to use glues yet, reach for the Mighty Type first. Now, if you are already a glue person and you're already using, say, for example, a Ghost Bond product, you're going to want to stick with a Ghost Bond product. You don't want to go and use a Mighty Type though you put on Ghost Bond. You want to kind of stick with the same kind of product that is going to work with whatever you're currently using. So we do have a lot of really small bottles of the Ghost Bond that you can purchase. So again, you have that little bottle. You're going to have that small nozzle that's going to literally, you can just kind of squeeze out a small amount of product. Invest in some paintbrushes. Little cheap paintbrushes from the dollar store are going to work really well for you when trying to spread this out. Make sure it's fully dry before you put it back down. But like I said, you don't want to consistently be using more and more product on top of the piece, because it is just going to start to like build up and get a little bit more gunky and too much products. We do questions when I say we do questions. We got a new guy doing this today, so yeah, we'll do questions in after we kind of go through the information. Cool. Okay, so from there. So we do, yeah. So Ghost Bond, getting some brushes, those help. But like I said, you don't always want to go in and apply more product. Try the alcohol trick because it really does work. Even if you might have lifted it a little bit, you're worried like, oh no, I gotta have more glue. I lifted it too early or it slipped off and I picked at it. Before you do anything else, yeah, isopropyl alcohol, little spray, let that actually evaporate, and a lot of the times it'll get re-tacky and then you can kind of just stick it back down. See if that works first and then go from there. Okay, so another big thing that we have when dealing with this hot weather is obviously we're sweating a lot more. So there's different, you know, products that you can use to help with the extra perspiration, especially with this heat. Two of the ones I do have, and then I have two that unfortunately I don't have in store right now, but I will mention them. So you have your, and I mean, most people know about the Scalp Protector, Walker Tape Scalp Protector. This one's really great because it's going to actually help with your, if you have like an extra sweaty head, maybe you work out. I do recommend these products, even if people are going to the gym a lot, sweating a lot, but even if you don't, and it's that time of the year where it's really hot outside, you're going to be sweating more, use a scalp protector. These are great products to help with the humidity, to help with you sweating too much, which is definitely going to add a little bit of help to that head when it gets a little bit too sweaty. Now, the scalp protector is, are we answering questions again? Yeah, no, save them for later. Yeah, save them for later. We do questions at the end. Okay. Sorry. This is a great live. I love lives. So then we have our KP. So save your questions, guys, for the end. I will answer all the questions I possibly can. So just remember your questions. And once we're all done kind of talking about the bases, because I might end up answering your question during that time, then we'll definitely dive into some questions afterwards. So another really great product, if say perhaps you also have a sensitive scalp, the KP Skin Med, this one is really great because it actually adds an extra coating on the skin. I have done experiments with this one. You can put this on, get your hand wet, wash it, it stays on. It does not come off. Where I feel the scalp protector really does rinse off a lot quicker. Like I can wash my hand afterwards and it comes right off. So if you have, say for example, a lace system where it's going to be getting wet through that system, so a mono system where there's that monofilament, or a lace system, you probably would want to maybe more go towards a KP because this one's going to really form that barrier and help with the sweat a lot better. So it is definitely an honorable mention. It's one of my favorite products out there when I'm doing clients that are, you know, more gym rats. They like to work out a little bit more, or say, for example, they're going somewhere a little bit hotter. I've got a lot of guys that travel to Dubai. So you know what, this is definitely the product I will reach for when I know they're going somewhere hotter. But now in this weather, I think we're pretty hot, so. Now, another product that is out there, we have the Max Hold Sport, which is also a scalp protector that you would put on prior to any products. That one is supposed to also really help with any kind of sweating. So it is something to definitely look into. And then we have the Ghost Bond No Sweat Scalp Spray. So I do believe, and forgive me if I'm wrong, that Rick did use this product a few times. I think way back in the beginning, a few years ago, I think he was talking about it. And he did really find that it did help a lot. He lives in Texas, so I hope you're safe out there, Rick, because I know there was lots of flooding, so I hope you're all good. But yes, there is definitely that product also you can try to help with any kind of excessive sweating during this time of the year. Now, as we get used to it, our bodies definitely acclimate. So you could go through those hot periods where you're going to have your systems maybe be a little bit weird. They're coming off faster. And then as summer goes on, you actually start to acclimate, and then it actually will start to last you longer again. And then once we hit fall, if you're in this area anyway, or where it gets cooler, you'll go back to your normal daily wear of how you normally did it. Another honorable mention I like to mention, just because some people, you know, it just may be something that you want to try at this time of the year, Extend Bond. So this is Extend Bond. Extend Bond is a solid glue. It is basically a tape-like substance that you're going to use on lace systems. That's why it has the holes. So the holes are made to make sure that it stays breathable throughout the whole piece when you are putting it on a lace system. So it actually keeps that air flowing through a little better than just putting on regular tape. So I always say, you know what, when it gets hot, this is definitely a product to maybe try out and see if it works better for you, even with the breathability of it being on a lace piece. So it is something to kind of put out there, just if it's something you want to try out. And again, it is not a tape, it's a glue. So you don't add any glue to it, it is by itself. Speaking of adding glue, during this time of year, I know one of the main things people will automatically do is they will automatically start reaching for a glue to add on top of their tape to make it last longer. This isn't always going to help. Now, that's not to say it's never going to help, but in a lot of situations, what happens when you add too many adhesives, so a glue, a tape, and then you're putting it on a head that's going to heat up very quickly, you're going to have two products that are going to break down and start slipping and sliding underneath the actual hair system, which is actually going to make it last less time. So feel free, if you've ever just used tape and you want to try glue to see if it'll last longer, but know that it's not necessarily going to make that actually happen. And also, if you're using glue, say in the summertime with a tape, maybe take the glue out. See if you actually last longer with just the tape during the summertime. It's just something to maybe give a try, see if that works out for you a little bit better. Okay, so one of the big things I think that every time I see somebody come in during the summertime, the biggest thing is hair fading out. So we're outside, we're enjoying barbecues, we're going to the beach, we're doing all this fun stuff. And what is the first thing that happens? The hair starts to fade. One thing I always tell my gentlemen is, hey, wear a hat. It's going to save your hair system from fading out. It's going to save it from getting too dry also. The elements are still going to make your hair dry. They make my hair dry, and I have natural oils going through my hair. So if you have a hair system, think of it like, you know, if you have to make sure you're protecting that hair system to ensure it's going to stay in its best condition. So first off, we have, color-free shampoo and conditioner. So this stuff here, so this is basically to help protect the hair from fading. And it's going to help it from, it's going to actually keep it soft also. So even though it says color-free is good for color-treated hair, your system is color-treated. So just keep that in mind. This isn't natural hair color, this is colored hair. So you want to protect your hair color and use a color-safe shampoo, especially at this time of the year where you're out in the elements and you have more chance of it fading. However, in the event that you do fade, you can always have a hair system colored a little bit. You can top up the color on your hair system to kind of richen it up again if it has faded. If you have someone to do it for you, you can bring it into the salon. They'd be more than happy to kind of fix that color or get it all freshened up again. However, if you're doing it yourself, I always say, you know, be cautious. Maybe get some opinions from somebody who knows color before just going and getting a drugstore color and throwing it on your hair system. But if you are going to color your own system, make sure the system is wet and you're going to do it for 5 minutes, and that is it. I don't care what it says on the box, 5 minutes, that's all you do. It's going to soak up that color quick and easy, lemon squeezy, and then you rinse it off and you go about your day. You don't want to leave it more than 5 minutes. It'll just get darker and darker, and then you're going to be way too dark for what you want. If your system has natural gray color and the gray, so the white hair is still white, but the colored hair has lightened, you cannot color it. If you color it, you will color the gray. So the gray hair, which is natural, will color. So keep in mind that if your system has faded and it's a gray system and it's natural gray, do not whatsoever color that system, because you will end up with a fully dark system. All your grays will be gone. However, if you have a system that is synthetic gray, you can still do it, because that synthetic gray color will not color with hair color. It literally will just come back out. So you can do it only if the hair is synthetic gray. Hope everybody heard that. All right. Also, what we have is moisture. So your moisture control shampoo and conditioner, these are two really good ones. Hair dries out. If you're at the beach, you're in the wind, maybe you have a convertible, maybe you're out, driving around. These products are going to help to keep the moisture in the hair. And the really great thing about these ones is they're good all year round. So winter, summer, fall, doesn't matter what time of year, you really want to make sure your hair is staying moisturized. The biggest thing we have when clients come in here is they always ask, oh, well, when I leave there, so my hair's so nice and soft and shiny, and then when I go and do it at home, it's not as nice. Buy good products. I can't reiterate that enough. Products really do make a difference, and if you are using good, proper products, your hair system's going to stay in good shape. A good shampoo and conditioner plus a really good leave-in. This is your best friend. Summertime, wintertime, doesn't matter. Leave-in conditioners are going to keep your hair soft. So these are the products you really want to make sure you're going to use to keep the hair in good condition when you're out in the elements, and that could be anything. Out in the boat, out in your convertible. Now, here's another one. So you're flying around your convertible. You really want to make sure your hair is attached properly. So one thing, I've never had, knock on wood, a client come and say that his hair system has fallen off, which is good. But we've all seen the videos, and the one thing I would always say is when I do see those videos, if they're not fake, is that they're most of the time a scenario where someone has waited to the last minute to get a service, so they're pushing it past their point, and then they go and do something crazy like, go water skiing, or, skydiving, or snorkeling, or sit in, a convertible, or anything that's going to involve being in like rough air, and then the hair system flies off. So make sure, listen, your adhesive's going to be strong enough to do whatever you need to do, but make sure you're not pushing your adhesive past that point when you are doing any kind of activities. You want to make sure your system has been put on securely and you're not, pushing it to the end part of it. And if you're not too sure, it's always better to throw on some fresh tape before doing any kind of crazy activities out there, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I've got clients that go sea-dooing and all that stuff. Their systems don't go anywhere. So, the adhesives definitely do work to keep that hair system on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about with hair systems in the summer before we go to some questions. I think we can go with some questions, and then if I think of anything else, we can go through that at that time. So, Amanda West, does the alcohol prevent smells when doing a maintenance? Well, when you're actually going in initially, when you're doing your own maintenance, we actually do clean the full head with alcohol prior to putting on any kind of scalp protector. So after I've cleaned a head, I've used scrub, I've done all that stuff, I will remove any kind of extra oils or anything. That's really what the alcohol does. It's going to kill any bacteria, but it's also going to remove any oils. But yeah, it could help with smell. If there is a smell to your system, and I'm not talking about like the hair's dirty kind of smell. I'm talking about it being like a rancid kind of smell. I always suggest you need to change the adhesive you're using. You might have a sensitivity to it. It's just not the adhesive for you. So maybe try doing a different product, taking a glue away at, changing the tape that you're using. But yeah, I mean, you should be washing your hair system. Though we don't recommend you wash the system every single day or even every second day, you still should be washing your system. based on what your lifestyle is. So for example, if you are working, construction guy, you're outside, you're in the dirt, the grit, everything like that, you might have to wash your system every day. You might. But you know, you're a businessman, you're not working out, you're not doing anything too crazy. No, you definitely do not need to wash your system all the time. Your systems will last longer the least amount of time you wash them. However, conditioning your systems is something you need to do all the time. I usually say every day. At least give it a spray. It's going to keep the moisture in the hair. Next. Chris, I use No Set Sway. It helps a lot. Use less. Oh, use less and more when applying. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to use too much. I think we're all in this idea that using more of something is better, but yeah, don't use too much of anything. So thanks for that, Chris. I'm glad for the feedback. Next one. Oh, can I just know you use deodorant on a scalp to help with sweat? Okay, so I've seen this a lot lately. There are these products out there that are like body deodorants, which are not just for like the armpits, that are for like everywhere else. You can put them on the bottom of your feet. You can use them. I have seen them all over the place. I have yet to try them on a scalp. I don't know how they would react to the adhesives, but you know, like if you're doing your own services and you want to try it, I can't see it being a bad thing. Just, you know, maybe try it on one side of the head first, try a small spot to see how it works. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't give you too much feedback, but I have seen those products out there. So you know what? They might work, but again, I can't really give you any feedback as I've not tried them just yet. Next one. Any more? Liz. I got the M105 for a client. Any quick tips on how... Oh, okay, sorry, I'm only getting half the question here. I got M1 for a client. Any quick tips on how... Can we show me... Oh. On how... I love lives. They're so much fun.
And how to install it easily.
Install it easily. M105 for a client. Any tip on how to install it easily? Well, I mean, again, it really depends on what they're looking for. I've done pretty much everything for myself. I like the Extend-A-Bond with the all lace systems because I do feel like it's a really easy product to apply because you can go in and kind of cut it to the size. You can curve it out. You can really kind of do whatever you want with this. It goes on easy. It stays on really good too. Clients who have used this really do enjoy it. So try the Extend-A-Bond, or you can go with something even like a lace tape or the Ultra Hold tape. If it's their first time, I always say if you can, maybe try to go in and use just a tape first, see how they are with it, explain to them that all tapes are made to be used by themselves, and then if you really want to try a tape with a glue afterwards to see if they get any extended time out of it, they can definitely try that. But usually I try to stick with the tape first. If they really want that seamless lace look, you can use Ghost Bond, but again, then you're forfeiting the breathability aspect. Like it's no longer breathable because you applied Ghost Bond to the entire head first and then put the system on. But that's a little bit more difficult if you haven't done it if you haven't done it yet, because you have to get it exactly to the line, make sure everything lines up perfectly, or you're filling with it a lot. So I hope that helps. Sometimes I have an issue with the gray. Synthetics gets really frizzy in the heat. Are there any special leave-ins for synthetic gray? We do have, do I have it here? We have this revitalizing mist. is actually pretty good. Is it actually for the synthetic hair? We've actually used it in non-synthetic systems. It's actually really great. Things you want to worry about with synthetic hair is number one, extensive heat. If you have any kind of extensive heat, like if you're barbecues, I've seen people frizz up their hair from barbecues, heat from the oven, any of those things are gonna have a tendency of frizzing up the hair. Also, on top of that, blow dryers, if you're going in with your blow dryers too hot of a heat, that can definitely frizz up the hair also. This is like a really great product though for those synthetic hairs. But yeah, just try to avoid too much high heat with those systems, because yeah, they do have a tendency of frizzing up like that. Best products for daily maintenance. Daily maintenance. This one, I love this one. This one's actually really good. We got a lot of people buying this one right now. It's the KMS Moisture Repair. I don't know if you can see that. But this is a really great product for maintaining the hair's moisture, keeping it shiny and soft. Again, I say to use this one every single day. Even if you're not washing your hair, you can even just have, like, maybe you taking a shower in the morning, spray this on before you go to style, whatever the case. Definitely a great product to invest in. If you don't have this one, you can get any kind of leave-in conditioner. You really just want to make sure that it's like going to obviously add that moisture. But I have had people say once they've tried this one, all the other ones they're really not too much of a fan of. So it's really depending on what you want to use. There are also products out there like leave-in conditioners that you can actually put in your hand, kind of just putting it through the hair that way. So for every day, a leave-in conditioner is definitely a must. That is the one thing I stand by 100%. If you're going to have anything, it would be a leave-in conditioner. In your shower, shampoo and conditioner, definitely you want to have both. A good shampoo. Do not be using Dove, Pantene. I'm trying to think. Herbal Essence. I don't even know, do they make that anymore? Herbal Essence, like any of those brands. Listen, the way I look at it, if they make commercials about them on TV, don't use them. Because, I mean, they're mass produced and a lot of times they have high surfactants. They're actually going to dry your hair out more than anything. Pantene is going to actually put a coating of silicone on your hair, which, I mean, it's not a huge thing, but again, you really want to kind of just focus on products that are going to be good for the hair system, protect the color. There are a lot of products out there that are even more natural now, no parabens, no sulfates, all that fun stuff. So, SLS is one of the big ones. I don't even know if people put that in their shampoos anymore, but that's sodium lauryl sulfates. Those are degreasers that they use to clean floors. So that's what they're going to put in your hair products, you know, and you don't want to use that stuff. So every day, leave-in conditioner, definitely a good thing to use. Make sure you're brushing your hair. And I know this sounds like a funny thing to say, but I've had a woman once, she came in with her piece all matted because she said she was in a convertible and then it just, the wind and everything else, and I don't think she brushed it, and then she slept on it, and then she came in and the whole thing was matted and it took us hours to get it out. You gotta brush that hair. So even though it's short, make sure you're brushing it in the shower. Don't agitate this system when you're washing it. Brush through your shampoo, brush through your conditioner, you know, making sure you're getting all of those knots out before you do anything else. That's, yeah, definitely brushing it out. Use a good conditioner. Definitely a daily maintenance aspect. Chris, last system I ordered, I went one shade darker to help combat. So, yeah, it's been working well. So you can always try. Yeah, you can always go one shade darker if you're really wanting to do that in the summertime. Because, yeah, if some people don't want to wear hats, some people don't want to actually go out there and you know, put a hat on and cover their hair when they're out golfing or doing their stuff. So you can go one shade darker if you really want to do that, you know, to kind of offset the lightening effect that's going to happen. Some people go even lighter than that, though. I've seen hair light quite a bit. The darker shade systems will take less time to lighten, but the darker shade systems are going to look more red. So when a guy has a hair system and it lightens up and it's a darker shades like the natural blacks, the blacks, even a level 2, those systems are going to lighten. And because the underlying pigmentation of that color is red, when it lightens, that's what you see. You see a red color, versus lighter systems are going to lighten a lot quicker. So just the whole coloring process, the cuticle on the hair itself, they just have a tendency of lightening a lot faster. So yeah, possibly getting a little bit darker in the summer could offset that a little bit. So yeah, good advice, Chris. Oh yeah, definitely. Heat protectant spray is going to definitely help out in the sun. But at the same time, it's the UV rays. I mean, it depends on, like, you have, I thought we had one. UVB, UVA rays. I can't see offhand where it was. I thought we had one. Do we have one? Yeah, maybe we do. I can't see it right now. But yeah, any like heat protectants are definitely going to help. You want to have more of a spray that's going to actually leave-in conditioner with UVB and UVA protectants in it. Those are the ones that are actually going to save your color a little bit more. But the ones with like a heat protectant, those are actually for physical heat from a blow dryer, not necessarily going to help from the sun as much. I had an HD 111 before. I know it shouldn't have been maintained as often, but the fact I'm switched M116, now I actually think it's a little hotter than the Now I actually think it's a little hotter than the HD. The M1, oh, hotter, really? So it actually feels hotter in your head than the HD 111. You know what I think it is? I think because, you know, you're feeling the actual air versus the HD 111, there's no airflow, right? Like it's straight stuck on the head, so you're not going to actually have that heat. I know a lot of people think sometimes that the skin is going to be hotter. From my experience, not my experience, but from me speaking with clients, when I've asked them, I actually have had the same thing, say like they feel less hot with an actual skin base. So I don't know. That's kind of an interesting point, though. Thanks for sharing that with us. Anything else? Any other questions? Nothing right now? Okay. So one of the things I do want to mention, one of the things for upcoming, we obviously are always going to continue our lives because, I mean, they're just a great thing to have people interact and talk about everything. But another thing we are going to be coming up with in September, I believe it's going to be, I don't have an exact date, or we are going to be starting lives during the day to help clients actually with their at-home maintenances. So this is something that's going to be coming up where I will be doing actually classes, live classes to help people learn how to tape or glue or attach or clean various aspects of their hair system and then kind of go from there. So this is definitely something that would help out any of you. Keep watch for when that's going to come out. But yeah, I do believe we are planning this for September, Vince. I actually plan to upgrade. I've been using HD 111. I'm working out a lot more now, so I want to try a new system for my lifestyle. You know what? It's always great, Vince, to try something new. I always say, hey, try out a couple different hair pieces and then see which one fits your lifestyle best and which one works the best for you. So yeah, definitely try something else and see how you feel about it. Anything else, guys, today? No other questions? Where are we? We're 7:30. I'm going to give a couple more minutes in case have any last minute information or anybody wants to share anything from here. How has everybody been doing with the heat out there? I hope everyone's been staying cool. Hope everyone has some AC because honestly, it's been quite crazy. I don't like to complain. I hate winter that much, so I'll deal with humidity. But yeah, I think, do we have anything else coming through, guys? Nothing else?
We have new colors for men.
Yeah, I know, because I don't even know which ones those are.
But they're coming, so.
Yeah. They're coming?
Yeah.
All right. So we have some new colors coming out for men. So hey, that's something to also look forward to. But yeah, like always, guys, keep keep watching the website. There's always new stuff. Open your emails, guys. Sometimes there's some information in there that might actually serve you. It's always good to see what new systems are coming out, what new things are coming out. We're always trying to come up with something better and more efficient for everybody. So, you know, keep looking at those emails that you get sent. And, you know, going forward, we will see you hopefully if you need some help on installations or any things, we'll see you in September, or we'll see you for the next live also in another month. What month are we in? We're in July, so that'd be August, right? Yeah, so we'll see you again in August.
One more question.
Oh, we have another question. Yay. Oh, extra layer glue. Which one, Chris? Which layer of glue are you talking about? Are you talking about Ultra Hold or are you talking about the Ghost Bond? I'm gonna give him a second to answer. If you're trying about Ghost Bond, believe it or not, you can add up to like 6 layers. I think that's a little overkill myself, but apparently you can do 6 layers of Ghost Bond. Ultra Hold, no. Don't do more layers. More layers does actually nothing for the Ultra Hold whatsoever. It just makes it gooier. It will make it seep out. It'll make it get hot. Oh, another tip too for you guys. Silk pillowcases. Invest in a silk pillowcase. It's going to save your hair and it's going to save your maintenances also. Any kind of silk pillowcase, it doesn't have to be real silk. It could be those sateen ones, anything that's going to make the head slip and slide. Ghost Bond. Oh yeah, so Chris, you can definitely go in with, I think it's up to 6 layers of Ghost Bond if you really want to. See how that is. Sometimes I feel it just gets more gummy the more layers you add. So, you know, I don't know if you're doing, how many you're doing right now. For myself, when I'm doing Ghost Bond on a client, I do 2 on their head. Make sure you let it dry in between each layer. Don't do 1 thick layer. It's just going to take way too long to cure and it's going to take too long to dry. So a thin coat, 1, let it dry, clear, completely clear. Don't let it be white. If you put your system on when it's white, it's not completely clear. It's not dry and it will never dry underneath your hairpiece. Apply your next coat. Again, let that dry completely to clear. And then what I like to do is, if I'm using a skin base, I will go around the perimeter of the hair system and then just let that dry. Once that's fully dry, then everything's good. When will the new style systems be available with a cut front end? Oh, okay. That's an interesting point. So I know we were starting to do this, and from what I'm understanding, they did a few, and now they're going back because there was complaints. I love them personally. I thought they were amazing, but apparently some of our clients were not happy with the with the little tabs, so we're going back to the full thing, unfortunately.
There's only one system. M111XT, I think, has the tabs.
Oh, 111XT still has the tabs? Are we still keeping that though?
We're going to keep it for that, and if that does well, then we'll...
Okay, so the M111XT, that's about the only one we're keeping the tabs. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed with that because I loved the tabs. I made my life a heck of a lot easier in the back. So that's just my feedback, George. But yeah, so we loved it here. But I mean, again, you know what? There was complaints, so again, I don't know. But I thought they were really great. I think there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, yes. We were just talking about this. Now, in case anybody wants to know, now, we have now scented Ghost Bond. Oh, I have one more. There's a coconut one too. And they actually smell like these. So if you like fruity things, if you like fruity things or flowery things, I don't know, you can definitely try one of these. They actually do smell pretty close to the smell. So we've got watermelon, apple, peach, rose, and coconut. So just had to put it out there just in case somebody wanted some fruity Ghost Bond. All right. I don't know if there's anything else today, guys. Any other questions, comments, feedback? No, we're good. All right. So thanks again for joining us, guys. There was no major hiccups this time, so yay. Thanks to Richard, our new director here in the back, who's done everything perfectly. I'm so happy. So, all right, guys, we will see you next time. Have yourself a really great summer. Stay cool out there. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye.
Retro beats and timeless gray. Retro dreams.